What's a good CTR or click-through rate? My name is Stephen Pope. I'm the founder of My Amazon Guy. And in this video, I'm going to answer that question by showing two major benchmarks. The first is on organic CTR and the second is on PPC or advertising CTR. So on the left over here, we've got a red light for bad CTR. That is anything under 1.5%. So if out of 100 people, less than 1.5 of them click on your product on the search page, the search results page, that's bad. Anything between 1.5 and 2.5%, that's going to put you smack dab in the averages. So 70% of listings will probably end up here. Anything 2.5 and above, that's great or good. And 4% or above, that's excellent. And the excellent percentages, there's generally going to be less than 1% of listings that are going to be excellent or better. And in the good, maybe somewhere around 5%. So the bulk of the listings are an average or below average. So when you're thinking about optimizing your listings, keep that in mind. If you can get slightly above average, if you could get to that 2.6% rating, that puts you above more than the strong majority of other Amazon listings or other Amazon sellers and brands. Very, very important to do so. We'll talk a little bit about how to increase CTR after this. Next is advertising CTR. Anything under 0.3% is considered bad or poor. So when we look at an actual listing over on Amazon, let's go to Amazon.com. We're going to type in, I don't know, video card, for a computer. And this would probably be a bad choice because there's not a lot of ads that trigger here. So I'm going to switch this up. Let's do, I don't know, charging cord. I guess I'm on electronics kick right now. So above the fold here, we have sponsored brands, headline ads, if you will, followed by some sponsored product ads. And normally in most categories, we'll see like a row of ads. And in this case, we're seeing whatever this is, vertical ads, not a row. And so we're seeing two sponsored products followed by organic purchases. And you can see I bought that back in 2023. So when we think about click-through rate, when somebody types in a keyword like charging cord and then starts scrolling through, if I pass and don't click on anything, that's a 0% click. But if out of 100 people, 0.3 of them click on this sponsored brand headline ad, that's how we're getting to this calculation right here. And primarily when we made this graphic, we were thinking of sponsored products click-through rate, not sponsored headline or video ads, just for understanding there on those benchmark metrics. But if you're in below 0.3, that's not very good at all. That means there's probably a problem with your main image or the price or something else. Maybe it's a bad keyword you shouldn't even be advertising on. That's where you're going to get below 0.3. So in the average section, 0.4 to 0.75, that is going to be the bulk of most listings. Probably around 50 to 60% of listings are going to be in that average section at 0.4 to 0.75. Every category is going to have different benchmarks. I just want to put that out there. But if you're in an average home goods category, these are general best practice benchmarks you're going to see with an average of what everybody else is experiencing. But if you're in a super high demand niche, of course, your click-through rate is going to be higher just by demand, less competition. The less competition, the higher your CTR is going to be by default. So something to keep in mind with that. But if you're in that 0.75 or above, you're doing good, and 1.5% or above is excellent. And I may even say that if you're at 1.5% or higher, you might be spending too little on PPC. How do I know? Probably because you're not advertising enough keywords. And you're probably being too safe and you're not getting some cursory lookalike keywords or long tail keywords or category targeting keywords that do have a lower CTR, maybe a little bit worse on ACOS. But I find a lot of brands play it too safe when they do advertising on Amazon. And so they end up picking too few keywords. One of my favorite ratios to track this is called the golden keyword ratio. That is one PPC keyword for every 2 organic. And I'll show you an example here. So let's go over to Amazon. We'll take one of these examples right here. This one's got 20,000 reviews, which is a crazy amount. It's not really an average listing example. I'm going to use the keyword tool over at Helium 10. We do have a discount for 20% off Helium 10. You can go to myamazonguy.com/H10 to get access to that. I am hoping that another keyword tool will catch up to Helium 10 in 2025. I do have a lot of other ones I like. This one's still the best. And there's two primary reasons for that. It's this keyword distribution chart right here. I freaking love this tool so much. And nobody else has built it. It drives me bonkers crazy. I have like no idea why nobody else has built a keyword distribution chart. Anyway, so paid to organic, 1 paid to 2 organic is what I like to see. These guys are at 2,300 paid, 7,100 organic. That puts them at a 2-to-7 ratio, which means they're actually underspending on ads. However, with 20,000 reviews and a $7 price point, probably okay that they're underspending on ads. So this is not an average listing. They're going to break the average benchmarks, if you will. But this is how you could find out what your benchmark is, what your golden keyword ratio is, or how far off you are from the ratio. 1 paid to 2 organic is the baseline. And if you're above or below that, if you have less paid keywords, add some. If you have too many paid keywords, you either have to reduce them or add more organic. And one of the ways you could add to the organic is by adding a keyword onto the main image here. That will also improve your click-through rate, by the way, especially for that keyword. And you could also add lots of copy to the A+ content. In this case, this product doesn't even have A+ content. It's probably been around forever. Let's see how long this product existed. Let's click on the all-time button here. And if I'm reading this right, 2020, August 2020. Very rare to find a product that's been around this long without A+ content. It could be a variety of reasons for that. Maybe they got yanked for claims and they just decided not to repost it. Maybe they lost their brand registry. And it looks like they don't have brand registry, which is probably because it's a Chinese brand that was breaking some rules and they lost brand registry. It could be they lost their trademark, all kinds of weird reasons, just randomly finding here as we do a live video. But there's lots of things you can do to improve your keyword ratio, adding keywords to the A+ content, adding a brand story, adding copy to the brand story, adding a keyword to the main image, and the like. All right, so here are your organic and PPC CTR ratios again. So if you are in average, yellow light, or worse, you need to follow the following advice. Number 1, pick a keyword and add it to the main image. So I'm going to show an example of how I did this a couple of years ago for Age of Sage. We're going to go to the smudge sticks. And here you can see on the box, Sage for Cleansing House. And this has been a very effective methodology for getting additional clicks. And people are more likely to click on a commodity-based product like Sage Sticks if there's a keyword on it. Sage for Cleansing House. What should I use this product for? There was a story I once heard about a guy who was marketing a brand new product. So he goes to a conference. It's a food conference. Everybody's handing out samples and he's selling hummus ice cream. And people come around and they start looking at them. It's like, what is this? You know, what is this? And they ask the guy, what do I do with it? And after about the 30th person that asks this guy, what do I do with your hummus ice cream? He lost his mind. And he's like, you effing eat it, right? People just have to be told what to do sometimes. Sometimes you don't want to leave it to the imagination. So when you're looking at a commodity-based product, and somebody watching this video is going to have an aha moment right now, and they're like, oh my gosh, I get it, Steven. Leave me a comment with that aha moment. You tell them what your product does, even when you show it to them already. You show and tell. A lot of people do a really good job with tell and don't do show. And on the main image, the opposite is generally true. A lot of people show, don't tell. And the way to do tell on the main image is a keyword. Okay, so that would be a really easy way to do that. Another thing I really like to do with main images is to showcase the ingredients in the backdrop like this. I also like to use the packaging to my advantage. American made, USA flag. That's going to be really hot, especially with the Trump administration pushing American manufacturing. You're going to see a lot of people push for that in demand. Showcasing the product in and out of the packaging, just like this. You can see out of the package, in the package. And clearly, these are different sizes of the product. You don't have to have ratios matching up in your main image to get the point across, do you? Another thing I like to do is with like supplements. So if we type in gummy supplement, and I'm going to go back to Amazon.com and get out of the category. And so with this, here's a great example of the D3K2. I can't even read the brand name. It's unreadable. All I know is that there's D3 and K2 in this. And if I was looking for D3 or K2, and I don't even know what K2 is, I assume it's a vitamin of some kind, then I would click on this listing, right? And you see a variety of products showcasing ingredients. Sometimes with supplements, you'll especially see like the amount, 14-day free trial. You can see that right there. They do a good job with this. Showcasing the supplement in and out of the packaging. Very important to do that. The amount of mg listed there, 20% more. Some of these packages are just really busy. They don't do a good job. Grunz does a really good job of showcasing their brand name. They're all in on the brand name, but not much else shows. These guys do a good job showing the inner supplement bouncing, if you will. They're like bouncing berries at the top there. I like that. Same with the one on the right, although I can barely read the magnesium. That's because of the way that the refraction of the lighting works. Whereas Ocuvite, which I don't even know what this does, it's some kind of gummy. They do a really good job with the readability on the brand name, but nothing else. I have no idea what this is, what it does. Eye health. Okay, it took way too long for me to figure out. Like that's your 5-second litmus test. What I'm really hoping to find is like one of these 60 servings right there. So you want to have how much comes with it is very important for CTR. 120 gummies, that's very important. So these are ways you can improve the click-through rate by simply adding information to the main product. Another thing that I frequently see missed is like accessories. So I'm just looking around my desk, see if I can find something. I'm going to just grab this charging cord to showcase this next example. So right here, we have a charging cord. Now, if this came with an accessory, or let's say I was selling just the port, right? I'm selling a port, but it also came with the cord. Would you build the main image just showcasing the port? Of course not. You would want to showcase it also came with a cord. But often the case, I see a lot of people will sell these products and not tell all the information. So they might sell a blender, but then forget to post that it comes with the charging cord, which is an accessory. This is something I see frequently missed, and I'm always surprised by that. I'm like, consumers obviously want more information. Give it to them, right? And it's super surprising. That's another thing with accessories. You always want to improve that. So we mentioned American made, brand name, which everybody gets right. How much comes with it? What are the ingredients? Showcase the product in and out of the packaging. So we've showcased a lot of different ways you can bounce these CTRs up. But out of every single one that I mentioned, the one that has the highest influence is the keyword. Adding a keyword to the main image will spike your CTR immensely, immediately. And sometimes I get questions about this. Which keyword do I pick? Well, fancy you should say that. I've got a video about the ICAP report. You can find information about this at myamazonguy.com/ICAP. Impressions, clicks, add to carts, and purchases. And we got a bunch of video content to go through this. You should watch this video next. And I walk you through how to pick the right keyword to improve your click-through rate. You might be looking at me and that guy to my right or my left, and he's a lot fatter. That's true. I lost 50 pounds. I'm now fit AF, and I've got muscles, and I got a hair transplant, and I moved my jaw forward 9 millimeters. So I'm not AI, I promise. And I'm shooting this on February 10th, 2025. Fantastic to see all of you guys. Thanks for watching. Watch the ICAP report next. Let me know what you think. And what's your CTR? Leave me a comment.